guys, it's your girl Rose
and Kira.
Welcome back to Happy and Classy. We're super excited to be back, and today we're gonna tell some scary stories.
Yeah,
because happy Friday the 13th. By the way, all of these are true and have happened to us.
Yes.
So these are our personal experiences. These are ones that we found online. We thought about reading some off of like BuzzFeed. But these are our scary stories. Freaky things happen on our campus all the time.
All the time. Like every building is haunted.
So Ellie will sit on the floor and bark at the top corner of Kira's room for no reason.
Yeah, she will just growl and bark and get super upset about this freaking corner. Freaks me out every time.
Leo's done it once or twice too. Like they don't do it separately. If they're in the same room, it's not like one of them will do it and the other one's just like, whatever. They both do it.
Yeah.
And
they both just start barking at like one spot in the room, and it's super creepy.
We just kind of look at each other. We're like, okay,
oh my god,
bedtime.
Well, our hall that we live in, we're not allowed to go to the 5th floor.
Yeah.
So the elevator does not go to the 5th floor anymore. There was a fire up there a long time ago. And like the door up there, like all the lights are always turned off up there. So it's like if you take the stairs to the 4th floor, it's super creepy, like looking at the stairway to the 5th floor, because none of the lights are on and no one's allowed to go up there.
Yeah.
And like the elevator, like I've heard girls like talk about how one time they like pushed the 5th floor and it actually went up there. And it like the doors opened and then closed and it like went back down to the 4th floor. They didn't push any of the buttons.
That's freaky. I've heard stories.
Fake, though.
I've heard stories of girls like that live on the 4th floor hearing people walking around on top of
and
them.
Furniture moving.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
We're not allowed up there because of like the fire that happened, and then like I guess like mold or something.
Yeah, it damaged structural pieces.
Like look at it, like our building, like all of the lights are off up there all the time, and it's like super creepy. And then like everyone's stuff from the fire is still up there. That's the creepiest part to me.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, they hadn't like cleared it out or something. Like all of their stuff is still up there. I don't think anyone died. And then I've heard that some girl jumped from the roof and landed in front of the stairs.
No!
Yeah, I heard that one last year. That some girl committed suicide.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. Maybe that's why we're not allowed to go on the 5th floor. I know that one time last year, I was outside and I was looking up at tower and I saw something walking around on those top windows, and I was like, okay,
yep,
okay,
I don't want to live on the 4th floor.
No. My freshman roommate got super into this stuff and got super into like the hauntings, and there was her and her friends kind of played around with it a little bit. I didn't let them do it in our room. I was like, no, stay away from me. Don't do it. Like, I love you, I'm interested in this stuff, but no, don't do this. And the one that creeps me out was she said that she was in one of her friends' rooms. It wasn't in tower, it was in a different dorm hall, I think probably. But she said she went there and one of their friends was like a witch or had something like that, and she was playing around with it, and they ended up connecting with a little boy that was attached to one of them, and they got super creeped out. He was a young boy, probably not young, probably like 15, and he was bullied, he was abused, you know, all this stuff. And then he got attached to my roommate and followed her path back to our room. And she knew he had left, and he told her he was coming to her room. And she knew I was in there. I was writing a Bonnie and Clyde paper, so of course I was looking at like autopsy photos and like dead bodies, so I was already freaked out. And I'm sitting at my desk, and apparently about the same time that this was happening, I started hearing this rustling of papers, and I told her about it later, and she was like, well, I know why that happened. And I was like, okay. And she told me the story about having connected with this little boy or this young man, and he had come back to the room, and she called upon her spirit guide, which was her grandfather, and asked him to come to the room and to watch over me until she got back. And she said whenever she came home, which was after I had gone to sleep, it was like I went to sleep at like 1 o'clock in the morning, so goodness knows whenever she came back, because I finished that paper. But I distinctly remember that I had cleaned up my desk that night because I had worked so hard, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get everything in order. So I had like pushed my chair in, I had made everything super neat, and whenever I woke up the next morning, my chair was pulled out from my desk and it was turned towards the TV. And Kara said that whenever she came back, because of course I had been freaked out because I heard this rustling of papers, and she said whenever she came back, I had put on Glee, an episode of Glee before I went to bed, and I like passed out, because she said by the time she got back, her grandfather was sitting in my desk chair watching Glee right underneath me, because I had a loft bed, and he was sitting directly underneath me in my chair watching Glee. Wow. And she said it was the funniest sight she had ever seen, but she was so in tune with her spirit guides that she could see it, that she could see him.
Oh my god.
And she said he had asked the young man to go away, and he had respected him, and he had left, but he had kind of played with my books because he enjoyed reading. And so and I was the only one with a bookshelf in our room. She didn't have a bookshelf. And so he had attracted immediately to my bookshelf and tried to like play with some of the books.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what?
That's crazy.
What? My big one is Missouri State Penitentiary.
Oh yeah.
I hate Missouri State Penitentiary. And I think I'm saying it wrong, but I really kind of I hate it. So creepy. It freaks me out. And whenever they first closed it, one of my ancestors was actually one of the first wardens. So whenever they first closed it and they just had it open to the public, my mom was like, oh, let's go and look around. And it was like a free self-guided tour. And I don't know what it was, but something happened, something paranormal. I had an experience. I was touched. I feel like I know what it was, but I suppress it because it freaks me out. I feel like that's what I do, but I feel like I was touched, or something said my name, something like that. And I had a really, really, really creepy feeling the rest of the time we were there. And now I have like panic attacks if we even go anywhere near it. And it's creepy, and I don't like that building.
It's super creepy.
Or that whole area. I don't like it. I don't like going near it.
The whole compound.
It's just
terrible.
Oh. You want to share one of your ghost stories from home?
So it's not really mine, but it's like my friend's ghost story.
Okay.
So it's like my best friend from high school, her mom. Growing up, she has had this ghost attached to her. Her school pictures from frames on the wall. Her school pictures were taken by this ghost. They were missing, like they could not find them ever. Every year that they put up a new picture of her little school picture, it would go missing.
No.
Yes. It would go missing. This ghost was obsessed with her mom. And it's been attached to her since she was a little girl. So through the years, it's followed her where she's gone. It's so scary. So I know that it's in their house. So it's always freaked me out to stay the night there. But one night I was over there and we were in her room, just on our phones on her bed. And when I got there, we had dinner, so I knew that the batteries were new. It's me, her brother, which was, he was in his room playing video games with his headphones on, so he didn't really hear us. So we were in our room, and we were on our phones, we were just messing around, killing time, and the smoke alarms went off. So Kelsey and her brother, Tyler, they get up and they check everywhere. They check every room, they check every outlet for smoke, and then it turns off. So we're like, okay, fine. So he goes back to his room, we go back to Kelsey's room, we're sitting on the bed, and it goes off 3 times. Just 3 beeps, turns off. We're so confused, so we're just sitting on the bed waiting for it to go off again. We're so confused, so it goes off another 5 times.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so, and it's only this one that's like right by, like, their rooms are like at the end of the hall, so it's like room. So it's like, it's the one like right in the middle. Like right by the rooms that's going off. None of the other ones. It's just that one. And it's going off.
What?
Yes. So it goes off and it stops. So we're like freaking out. So we like go in the living room, so it's like right down the hall. Because it's just a little ranch style house. So we just go to right down the hall and we're sitting on the carpet like in the middle of the living room, like what is going on? We like wanted to see if the other ones were going off, and it was only that one. And it goes off like for like 2 minutes. It goes off forever. Like it just beep 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 forever. And like so we call her dad and we're like, what is, like, we're super creeped out, you need to come home a little early. And then when we hang up, it turns off.
So it was going off while you guys were on the phone with him, so he could hear it.
Yeah, it was going off. Like, he heard it, Tyler still heard it, and he was like, he didn't know what to do. He was just playing his video games. He didn't really care. But me and Kelsey were like freaking out, and we were like sitting there. Yeah, so we decided to like, and it turns off for the rest of the night. It was not fun. It was pretty scary. That was a scary night. So we decided to stay in the living room the rest of the night.
Yep.
And watch TV.
Yep. Me too.
Yep. That was pretty scary.
Me too. So we hope you guys enjoyed our scary stories.
Yeah. That was pretty fun.
That was interesting. We both learned things.
Yeah.
In this one, which is really that's kind of fun. Happy Friday the 13th. We're getting close to Spooky Day.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next week.